From turnstile to turnstile, let's talk theme parks.
Welcome to Park Hopper Podcast. Welcome back to another episode. My name is Dominic Evecoat, and we're here with Peter Brookhart. Peter, thanks for being late once again, like always.
Whoa. Everybody, let the record show that for the first time in Park Hopper history, Peter Brookhart was ready, on time, and Dominic Eveco, late.
Fake news.
He blames his mom. I blame him. No one controls you but you, Dom.
It's fake news. You just saw my mom.
I actually, to be honest, I heard her. I didn't see her.
You didn't see her.
Your FaceTime was facing at the sky, but I heard her. But for all I know, you could have a recording Ferris Bueller's Day Off style.
No. Fake news again. Peter, fake news Brookhart.
Actually, my middle name is Brian, but...
We got a very exciting episode today. It's something very different than we have done before. But before we get into all of that, we need to get into some housekeeping stuff. First off, we got some housekeeping stuff we need to go over. Before we get into this episode, I want to go ahead and mention that you can email us at parkhopperpodcast@gmail.com and send us your theme park testimonials. Those are anything that you want to read on us to read on air, a theme park experience that you had that you just want to share with everybody. It does not have to be a Disney or Universal theme park. It could be anywhere around the world. So please, again, that is at parkhopperpodcast@gmail.com. You can also go and follow Peter and Sarah Brookhart at the Brookhart Project on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter to check out their Orlando adventure. And you can also go follow me at Dom and Vic on YouTube and Dom and Vic Eats Detroit on Instagram to follow me and my girlfriend's Victoria's foodie/Detroit/ I don't know what it is adventures.
Well, it's fun adventures, and this past week was especially fun. I can't wait to see that footage. We haven't talked.
The downtown Disney?
No. What you did this past week?
What I just...
The juicer.
Oh, we didn't bring the camera, and I'll tell you why.
Oh.
Because it was at, for those of you who are from Michigan, I think we got a couple people that are listening that are from here. There's Somerset Mall. It's called Somerset Collection. They're very particular about letting people bring in cameras inside the mall because they have a collection they want to hold up and look a certain way, so they don't really allow people to bring cameras in there. So fortunately, we didn't.
But hey,
film.
The best part about what you and Victoria do with your social media, little branding that you guys are developing, is it's a multi-pronged social media. So you've got your YouTube and you've got your Instagram. So I'm sure were there some photos taken?
Yeah, we posted a photo the other day of our favorite juices that we had there, and then we obviously posted on our story while we were there. So if you want to see that, you'd have to follow us at Dom and Vic Eats Detroit. But if you don't, then don't follow us at Dom and Vic Eats Detroit.
They're a good time. If you're a foodie and you like to just sit there at your house on your couch all bored and gloomy and getting hungry, look at their Instagram. It'll make you starve. But I want to talk about our cool thing called Patreon. It is the way for us to connect with the select few that choose to support us through a little membership club. But in return, they get some exclusive content in the form of a small form podcast called I4 Rambles, where it's just a little couple minutes where we spit some knowledge and opinion about anything we want, theme park related typically. And then there's a ride through Roundhouse, which is a ride through video of an attraction with some audio commentary of one of us about ride history or opinion. And I just found, when I was doing some spring cleaning on my hard drive, some footage of a once widely acclaimed attraction at Disney's Hollywood Studios, if I might say a namesake attraction, the Great Movie Ride, which many people, I know the people that are listening will know the Great Movie Ride, and I'm sure all of you miss it. So I'm going to work on trying to present that well, and I've got the footage I'm editing right now. Should be up in the next week on Patreon, so you could do that at patreon.com/parkhopperpodcast. It's a really fun group. The comments that we have, the interactions we've had with our patrons has been great, and it's only going to grow from there. But to kick off our episode with the nitty gritty fun stuff, I just need to put a disclaimer out that Dom and I both love what we're going to talk about. And see, Dom and I used to have an issue where we would both talk about Disney World or theme parks, and we'd both get super frustrated because we're not there. I don't mean this as a slight to Dom, but I live within 10 miles of Disney World, so I don't get that as much. But what I do get, and what we both hurt and yearn for, is the seasonal goodness. And that's what today is about. Some good old-fashioned seasonal goodness.
Right. So, to get things started off, today we are going to talk all about, and I know it's early, but some things were announced, and that is Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Orlando. This is an event that me and Peter both went to for the first time together in 2011. That was my first and only time, but Peter has recently gone this past season. It is something that I want to go to very, very soon if all things work out. Maybe I'll be able to go this upcoming October, but we'll have to see. So that is what we're going to talk about. So we're very excited about that.
Awesome. And so what Halloween Horror Nights is, it's basically a night at Universal Studios where they convert a bunch of the attractions and areas into haunted houses and scare zones. But why we're bringing that up now, this early, you're going, guys, it's March. What are you talking about? We have 7 months before Halloween. Well, why we bring that up is because two major things were announced this week by Universal, one being the dates for this year in Florida, and that's going to be September 14th through November 3rd. So I'm going to start a countdown to September 14th because I am so excited. I went once in 2011 with Dom, and I went once this past year with some friends. And the other thing kind of coincides with what else was announced. And this year, for the next couple of weeks, they're going to offer a buy one get one free for $77.99 for select nights. So what that select night disclaimer is, it's like, oh, what's it going to be, one night? No, it's any night except for Saturdays. So your buy one get one free just cannot be used on Saturdays to maintain crowd levels. But $77, Tom, for 2 nights, that's a steal.
Oh, for sure, because it's definitely an expensive event. And that's something that, like you kind of mentioned, is that they haven't done something like this before. So something that you definitely should take advantage of.
Now, I'll say that I think it's amazing for people coming down, say, like, who live in Michigan, who could come down and visit a friend for a long weekend, like a Thursday to Sunday, Thursday to Monday kind of trip. It would be great for them. I think it would be great for longer vacations. Don't see those as much for domestic American travelers, but I know a lot of European travelers come over for an extended holiday. Be great for them. But for people who are huge Halloween fans and are local or can come to Orlando for a long time, I still think the frequent fright pass is basically a mini season pass just for Halloween Horror Nights. I learned about this last year when I was at Halloween Horror Nights. Last year, I went to Halloween Horror Nights and I paid, I think, like $65 or $80. That was with like a Florida resident and a Coca-Cola coupon code or something. And I found out when I was there that a frequent fright pass, even like the lowest one, like which includes any night of Halloween Horror Nights except for Saturdays, was like $110. So you're telling me for right now, for $78, I can get 2 nights, which is perfect for someone like Dom who's going to come down and hang out with me for a weekend. I could get, by adding 30 more bucks, unlimited. I work maybe 15 minutes away from Hollywood or Universal Studios. So Sarah and I have already planned, and I've already made friends with other people because Sarah will not go to Halloween Horror Nights. I'm going to get the Fright Pass this year, and I'm going to try to go like all the time.
And I think it's totally worth it for somebody like you, and especially due to the fact that Halloween Horror Nights is definitely a busy event. It is something that, I think you might have did because maybe you went on a slower night, but to go there in one night and do all the houses, It's probably not going to happen in one
How
night.
many houses did we do in 2011? Like nothing.
I think we only did like 4,
Yeah, I
3.
think we did 3, and then we did. We didn't do any of the extra stuff.
I mean, we walked through the scare zones because you have to.
Yeah, give them a little explanation of the scare zones and what the houses are like.
Yeah, so the scare zones are just something that you kind of walk through that are just like in the different themed areas of Universal. So you got, Hollywood Boulevard, there's usually a scare zone. I think usually they usually just put people on, like when we were there back in 2011, it was something where they had platforms and there was kind of some type of dancers. I'll be honest, it was a little risque. So definitely, if you bring your kid there, just know that this is more of a risque PG-13 event. Even you might not want to bring a 13-year-old there. It's totally up to you on what you want to do. But it was definitely people are dressed a little bit less. The actors in this scare zone,
Yeah,
and they just kind of come up to you and walk.
that one's
sorry?
called Altars of Horror, and it was still there last year. And
It was the same. It was the same one in 2011 as it is
well,
now.
that specific one, Altars of Horror. I will
Okay.
say Universal does disclaim that they don't advise anybody under 13 come because of the nature of like the graphics and the intensity of the houses, and as Dom said, there are areas where they're more risque. It's not going to be as family friendly as like a Disney area, but you're going to see people with like ripped clothes and blood and guts and all that goodness. But
Right.
nothing official. So the only official things this week, there's like the official world and the unofficial world. In the official world, the date range and the price for that BOGO came out, but the unofficial world has been buzzing for about a month and a half now. And there's 2 rumors that I think the people of the internets are pretty confident in. And the first one's going to be that one of the houses is going to be Stranger Things themed, which wouldn't surprise me. Dom, you watch Stranger Things, right?
I watched both seasons, and if this is something that I find out does come true, I will do everything in my power to convince Victoria that we have to go for a long weekend because Victoria is somebody that hates haunted houses. Michigan, I don't know if you knew this, Peter. Michigan is one of the top states, if not the top state, when it comes to haunted houses in the United
I
States.
did not know that.
It has it is. It's a Halloween state. People go crazy for Halloween here, and they have a lot of huge haunted houses. They have Erebus, which is a 4-story haunted house. It is a permanent building that is intense. I've been there, but because of that, we have a lot of haunted houses here, and Victoria will never go to them. I have to like beg her to go, and obviously I'm scared too. But it's that adrenaline rush that you get. So I think it'll take a lot for me to get her to go to Halloween Horror Nights, but because of the Stranger Things, and she actually watched Stranger Things with me, and she's not into any of the scary stuff, I think she'd be interested and intrigued by seeing what the house would look like because she already knows what's going to happen. She knows the storyline. So I mean that's one thing Universal does well with their houses is they go along with the storyline. So you can kind of guess what's coming next a little bit. So I think that could take a little bit some of the element of surprise and scariness away because you kind of can know, hey, for those of you who watch Stranger Things, hey, a Demogorgon might be coming here. So just, beware so that you can prepare yourself for that scare. And if that happens, I would love to go see that house because I think they can do a really cool job on it.
Yeah, I agree. I've only watched about half of the first season. I know I'm going to get some crazy haters out there for that, but I will definitely watch the rest of the seasons if they officially announce. What I saw online when I was doing a little bit of research is internally they do a securing of the houses themes around April, May because that's when they start picking up construction, but they have come into issues before. So what Halloween Horror Nights is nice about is clearly they don't have the rights to Stranger Things. And the other rumor that came out is that they might do a Stephen King's It, which would be scary and amazing.
Terrifying.
Terrifying but amazing. the thing is, a lot of the houses, Orlando's is better than California's, where they'll try to do more original content rather than licensed content, because when you do licensed content like The Conjuring, American Horror Stories, you have restrictions on what they're allowed to do or not do with the characters and costumes and whatnot. And so there have been houses in the past where they're like, "Hey, we're gonna do this house and it's gonna be The Conjuring," and then copyright deals fall through and they have to change it into something like The Hive or something that they've created themselves, which is I like both. I like to see something I've seen on the videos on the screen come to life. Like I went through a Saw house last year, and it was incredible with the detail. Like Dom said, Universal does an amazing job with the details for these haunted houses. So it was cool to like walk through literally the scenes from the Saw movies. On the other hand, it was still super cool to go through an originally developed house like they had the Hive last year, and it was just incredible with the detail and the storytelling and almost another level of scariness, because some of the places, like Dom said, you can tell what's coming, some you can't. Either way, you're going to get scared.
Right.
But Halloween Horror Nights is just like the best, and I'm so excited. I don't know why it hasn't hit me, but I feel like it's one of those things that I didn't realize when we decided to move down here that I'd have access to, just because we would never come down on vacation and take time away from Halloween Horror or from Food and Wine and Mickey's Not So Scary to go to Halloween Horror Nights because Sarah won't go. But tell him, Dom,
Right.
tell him my little mock itinerary that I think would be perfect for you guys to come down. This is what I'm going to use to convince Victoria to come down.
You've said a lot to me, so let me kind of you correct me if I'm wrong. We would like to do a Thursday to a Sunday, right? And there's a lot of things going on during that time. Food and Wine Festival. Then you would have Mickey's Not So Scary, and Halloween Horror Nights. So what you really get is you get to go to Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Universal Studios all in one weekend, but you also get the perks of the events that are going on. So if we can do this BOGO, we can do Universal for 2 days, Mickey's Not So Scary, get that in with the Magic Kingdom, and then also go to Epcot for Food and Wine, which is my all-time favorite event ever at Walt Disney World. So that would be a Thursday to a Sunday. Well, we couldn't.
No.
Well, Thursday. No, we could only do
So
Thursday. We could.
I was planning on, like, the last couple of iterations I gave Dom of this. This plan was a cutout, Not So Scary. I know it'd be pushing it, but a Thursday to Monday, like leave Monday at 5 a.m. I don't care. I know you guys do because you guys would have to do the traveling, but then we could do like what I thought is like, so the BOGO, like I said, you can't use on Saturday, so we could use the BOGO and go to Halloween Horror Nights on Friday and Sunday, and then we could do Food and Wine, even though it'd be real busy. We could do Food and Wine on Saturday. If we change that to do like a Halloween Horror or like a Mickey's Not So Scary on a Thursday night, like when you guys fly out, maybe do a Halloween party that night, and then do like Halloween Horror Nights Friday, and then Food and Wine Saturday or Sunday or Saturday, and then fly home Sunday. That'd be cool too. Either way, I think it's a great idea. I think I wonder how much convincing I can do on Dom and Victoria to see if it's even worth buying. The BOGO can be used in two ways. You could do the BOGO and it be Victoria's ticket and Dom's ticket, or we could do it where it's 2 Dom tickets.
Right. And there's no convincing me. I would love for Victoria to come because, yes, do I think she'd be absolutely terrified? Yeah. It'd be kind of, I know this sounds terrible, but it's always fun to go to haunted houses and watch other people around you get scared. I don't know why. It's just something that always is.
It's like people watching. I get terrified. I tell people. I went last year with Kristen and some of her friends, and I was like, I'm just gonna let you girls know, like, I'm gonna scream like a little baby, and I might run, and I might jump on your back. And
I did. When
you
we
did.
Went.
You jumped on Matt's. You jumped on Matt's back. I get terrified, but that's the fun of it. Like I like to get scared.
And the more you act scared, the more likely those people are going to come after you.
100%. And then I'm like this
like
big
said,
dude, so like everyone thinks like I'm not gonna get scared. It's the very first thing. I'm like, I'm gonna be the first to scream. I'm gonna be the first to scream.
but I'm there to protect you
Thanks, Dom.
because I do boxing now.
Oh yes, Dom went boxing, everybody. So that's his world has changed. Um, what I wanted to say is I'm interested to see what they're gonna do this year. So for anybody who's gone in previous years, you probably have seen this, and if you haven't, I'll give you a little synopsis. There was this thing called this very risque thing called Bill and Ted's. What is the actual verbiage called? Bill and Ted's
Bill and Ted's something adventure.
Excellent
Great Adventure.
Halloween Adventure is what last year's was called. And what it was about a 20 to 30 minute stage show of Bill and Ted. The devil was there, and then every year they had a theme, and it was pretty much like a long skit making fun of all of the like pop culture references of the past 12 months. But
So mainly politics.
well, yeah, there was a lot of politics last year. Then there was some Moana jokes, some other princess jokes, a lot of politics last year. But it was a lot of fun. Oh, the backpack kid who does that dance.
Yeah. The with your arm.
Yes. There was a lot of referencing of that. It's a really fun show, but it was really for how they did it. There was a lot of risque dancing to the point where like that would probably have another age limit on it higher than the 13. And
Like, would you want your kids seeing it?
probably not until they're teenagers, until they're like
Yeah.
15, 16, 17. There's a lot of swearing, a lot of risky dancing, but that one doesn't matter anymore because last year was the last year. To everybody's surprise, they ended it, and it was such a big fan favorite event that like the thing was packed every show, every night of Halloween Horror Nights last year. And last year we went in 2011. We didn't have the time to do it because it was so busy, but we did it last year, and it was fun. But I curious to see if they're going to add anything this year because they took that huge time eating event away.
And that's something that I'm actually shocked that they got rid of because like I said, I didn't get the chance to see it, but that had almost a cult like following to
That's
it.
what-
Like that was
That's what makes me think that they're gonna destroy the building that it was in.
it's in the Fear Factor building.
Yeah, but they don't do that anymore. They
Yes,
do.
they do. Yeah.
Well, I think maybe it's gonna. I think either they were nervous about it being too risky in in the political correctness of this world that we live in now, or I thought maybe they're gonna eventually announce between now and then that they're gonna demo the building for like I don't know that. See, this is. Please leave a comment down below if you know the landscape of Universal more. It's to the left of Men in Black, but I think to the left of that backstage is Harry Potter. So like,
It is.
would
Yes, it is. It's right in between.
right?
the
So
two.
would they be able to expand Harry Potter if they demoed this building of Fear Factor and?
Well, that's always been the talks. They've always talked about putting more Harry Potter over there, but they've just announced that they're putting more Harry Potter. Well, they're not really expanding. I don't think the land. Like I don't think they're using any more land, but they just got rid of Dueling Dragons to put in a new ride for Harry Potter over in the Hogsmeade section at Islands of Adventure. So I don't know how soon they'll expand over on the other end now that they're doing that, but I could be totally wrong.
Yeah. So that's what I thought. I thought it was either politically driven, or it was business driven, where they want to use that land, that real estate for something else. But it was a lot of fun. Sorry if you never got to see it. Sorry if if it's a pain point and you're really sad it's gone. Then I just opened the wound again. But besides that, I don't know if it'll come back. But the past couple of years, they had a dance academy where they had these like hip hop dancers dressed up with like skeletons. It was a lot of fun. Just a little thing to break up the night, give a little rest, and not be scared. To get your breath back.
And the food. I think that's a big thing at Halloween Horror Nights
Oh,
as
it
well.
is, but I did not get to indulge this past year. They've got those. They've got these like really famous Halloween Horror Nights pizza fries.
Pizza fries. And you had them. What did you think? Because I think I might have mentioned them to you because I've seen them online everywhere and people raving about them. But I'm almost positive you had them. And
Yeah,
were
but I'm gonna
disappointed.
throw a little asterisk on that and say I saw right before the last Bill and Ted show, which was towards the end of the night. I think the pizza fries I got were sitting underneath a heat lamp for a long time because they had that like not cold, but not hot, kind of hardened cheese
Hard cheese.
because it wasn't fresh and was just sitting underneath this lukewarm lamp. I know I'm painting a very vivid, beautiful, delicious painting picture there for you, but I would try them again if I knew for certain that they were going to be fresh, because I've heard enough
maybe you
people
can just
talk about it.
ask.
They have to be good, but I was like, meh.
Right.
And I think it was right after like I shortly went. So this year, starting in September, we moved here the very end of July, basically August. So we were still pretty new here. Probably within the first 5 or 6 weeks of living here is when I went. And so like I feel like that was the first time I had marinara sauce, as weird as it is, since I moved here. And I don't expect pizza fries to have good marinara sauce, but I think because I come from Chicago, an Italian family that does home cooked meals every Sunday, home cooked roni sauce or red sauce, that I was like disgusted that it wasn't like homemade
Right.
red sauce.
Right. Understandable. Because I go through those same issues. Nothing's better than what your family
100%.
makes. Ever.
I think one last thing I'll say about Halloween Horror Nights and rumors this year, and there's no rumors about this yet. They go on and off between having a host, so like for their marketing, and for things that like their marketing for just the storytelling of the entire event. They have had hosts in the previous years. Last year they did not have a host, but the year before that in 2016 they had Chance, and then the year before that was Jack
Chance.
the Clown, which were just like scary figures that like embodied that night. And I'm kind of hoping that they bring back. I don't know if I care for any of the previous ones like Chance or Jack the Clown, but I really hope they bring back a host, because it's kind of cool to see the merchandise be like Halloween Horror Nights 2018, and with that figure. It will be the 28th Halloween Horror Nights.
I think the next big one will probably
yeah.
be the 30th.
That'll be huge.
That'll be a big deal. But I'm not a big fan of Chance and Jack the Clown just because I don't
Well, they
like
had
clowns.
a clown's scare
scare
zone
me.
last year where they had chainsaws.
Yeah, I probably would have gotten through
And
that
before we call it quits, Dom mentioned it. It's a very busy event. I would have to give a very big warning to that. I will put a link of my vlog from when I went there this past year. There were 9 houses, and Bill and Ted's show, and Academy, and the Academy of Villains, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scare zones. I was able to do all of those but one scare house, and I probably could have done it, but I just didn't want to do it. I didn't do the Ash vs. Evil Dead because it's like supposed to be. It was rumored to be like more of a funny, gaggy kind of house, and it was real late. But I'll
Yeah.
give you how I was able to get that done, and I was able to get that done because I went early on in the season. I was not going close to Halloween. I went in September. I went on a Thursday night, which is probably one of the least busy nights, because it's during the week, wasn't high season time, and it wasn't close to Halloween. So I think that's why I was able to accomplish so much without buying they have, what's it called, the Fright Pass? Is it Fright? Not Fright Pass. They have like a line jumping option, which I know I've heard other vloggers and bloggers and podcasts mention. It's so worth it. It's expensive. It's more than the cost of the ticket to get in. But it's worth it because you don't have to wait in
It's
line,
worth
because the
it.
lines for the haunted houses are terribly long.
That's only if you're going once, though. I would
The
say
BOGO?
get that. If you get the
Yeah.
the pass where you can go. If you live in Orlando, don't get that because you can
Right,
go back.
but like
to
Dom
the
said,
festival.
when we went together in 2011, we went in like 3 or 4 houses. We spent 6 hours, 7 hours there, just waiting in line. You know what we did?
did do a
'Cause we
couple
went on
rides,
Mummy
though,
and
too.
Rip Red Rocket. Those are the only attractions.
But those were walk on, so I don't think that would have. Maybe if we didn't go on those rides, we could have got one
I
more
doubt
house
that,
in.
because we
but-
walked on the Mummy and Rip Ride was like a 10-minute wait.
Yeah, but right. So I don't even.
So
know if
moral
that
of the
made a
story: if
difference.
you're coming on vacation to sunny Orlando, Florida, and you're coming during the fall, go to Halloween Horror Nights if you want to have some scary fun. If you're going one night, think about buying the expensive line jumping option. It'll be worth it. It's a lot of money, but it'll be worth it. skip out on the attractions, I'd say, just because soak up as much of that Halloween Horror Nights as you can, and just get ready to get scared.
Yeah, because it is a great time. All right, so thank you again for listening to another episode. Like I said, make sure you email us at parkhopperpodcast@gmail.com to send us your theme park testimonials. Make sure you go follow Peter and Sarah Brookhart at the... You smell. Well, thank you for messing me up. Thanks for listening to
in the middle of that spiel, and I said, "You smell," and that's what that interruption was. We're keeping it in. Yeah.
We're keeping it in? Okay. So make sure to go follow Peter and Sarah Brookhart at the Brookhart Project on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, and it will be up by the time this episode is on.
Yeah, we got a new website launching in 2 hours from when we're recording this, and it's going to be thebrookhartproject.com. You'll be able to get exclusive. I'm so excited for this. Brookhart Project merchandise, hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts. We'll have our no visors, but I think there's an option. But we're not doing that yet. Crop tops for our exclusive fans. We'll have our buttons on there that we have left over from the Plain Crazy Button Club, and it's a whole new world, everybody. So for the Brookhart Project, it's a new home for Sarah and me to have our brand and our livelihood to live. You'll be able to communicate with friends in there, see our merchandise, see our videos. We'll bring up highlights and snippets, blog posts, mini blog posts are going to be on there. Check it out. We're doing a lot of fun stuff on there. Sarah's been kicking butt.
B-U-T-T. Also, you can go follow myself and my girlfriend Victoria at Dom and Vic on YouTube and at Dom and Vic Eats Detroit on Instagram. And tomorrow, we hope tomorrow, I think it'll be tomorrow, it will be tomorrow, we're coming out with another video of us at Disney Springs with the Brookhart Project themselves. So that should be a really good time. Peter and Sarah posted that video about a month ago, but we run on a different schedule than them, so you get to see our point of view. And so, yeah, thank you again for
I'm going to
listening.
sign off because this is what I'm going to do, a little call to action for all of our listeners here. Kind of like how we did, if anybody remembers, we did that hashtag Dom Start That Podcast. We're going to start a new one. It's going to be hashtag Little Vic Does HHN. Get it going.
Ooh,
Little
Vic,
VIC does HHN. Get it started.
And where
we can
places
send
they can
it
go
on
send
Instagram, Twitter. I don't even care. Go on Facebook and do it.
Yes. And you do it everywhere. Do it on Peter and Sarah's stuff. And also, so Victoria will see it. You can do it, comment on our videos and on Dom and Vic.
And text Victoria at 407-867-5309.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or direct message us too. Because she really sees those. So thank you again, everybody, for listening. We had a great time today. And until next time, this is the Park Hopper Podcast.